When was the last time you heard a song you unexpectedly liked? If you're staying at home more these days, maybe you've been listening to the radio station at odd hours or browsing music stations you might not normally listen to. Today, I'm going to highlight how we can all discover new songs and rediscover great ideas by shifting our attention. Welcome to Audiobook Reviews in 5. This is Jana, also known as Yana, and today I'm reviewing How to Do Nothing, Resisting the Attention Economy by Jenny Odell and narrated by Rebecca Gibble. Originally trained as a visual artist, Jenny Odell has established herself over the last year as a writer and podcaster with her excellent podcast series, Hurry Slowly, which I strongly recommend. Published in April of 2019, her book has been described by the New York Times reviewer Jonah Engel Bromwich as a manifesto for opting out of an internet-dominated world, which seems like an especially challenging proposal during a pandemic. But hear me out. Think back to over the last few weeks and consider the evolving discussions online. A lot of folks are struggling with a sense of purposelessness and helplessness. And I've seen more than a few people insist that the show must go on in spite of the fact that the channel has changed and the show will never quite be the same again. This leads me back to my initial point about hearing a song you unexpectedly like. Odell describes the experience as, quote, feeling like something I don't know is talking to something else I don't know through me. We are each a confluence of forces that exceed our own understanding, unquote. In similar ways, many of us have rediscovered value and meaning in our newly isolated lives as our routines have been totally disrupted. Much of Odell's discussion examines the opportunities and pitfalls of our obsession with productivity and what she describes as essentialism, which broadly describes a tendency to categorize and simplify how we order and understand the world. I enjoyed the range of examples she uses, including the benefits of a birding guide to learn how to identify various species as a beginner, to moving toward an appreciation of the entire context of environment and finding it difficult to focus exclusively on birds after learning about their preferred habitat, including trees, fungi, and insects. And Odell admits that a focus on spotting different species was key to growing her interest, but that focus was temporary, which is key. Another powerful idea Odell discusses is the idea of context collapse. So think about how you might share your travel experience details with different groups, such as family members or colleagues or close friends, versus how you'd share those details on social media. For myself, this helped me understand why, although I'm a communications professional, I tend toward the visual. And I really prefer sharing images on social media like Instagram, which contain their own context in a more satisfying way than the text-dominant platforms like Twitter. My main criticism of this audiobook, however, is the narrator voice. This just did not work for me. I couldn't quite figure out why this was a problem until I looked at the Audible reviews and I saw the same complaint from a few other folks, and one of them actually described it as a robot voice. So again, personally, I found the tone conveyed an unpleasant urgency that was at odds with the main theme of the book, but I strongly recommend the content of the book, and so this one actually might be a great read versus a listen. And finally, if you're struggling with a sense of futility or anxiety over your productiveness right now, this is a great book to read and reflect on. In Odell's own words, quote, every action doesn't need to have a deliverable. Activities that can't be optimized, like listening to another person, taking care of ourselves, contemplating a new idea, and why we truly truly need to take time to pay attention to the little things is an act of resistance, unquote. That's all for this episode of Audiobook Reviews in 5. I hope it gave you yet another perspective on our current state. I look forward to checking in with you all again soon. Please stay safe and be well.